actions, which then create, from our actions and behaviours, it creates the results which we get in life. Now, for someone who's been through challenges in life and crisis and traumas, or whatever's relatively trauma in your life, apparently you can even feel in trauma state, because so many of us lived in a stressed out world at the moment where we're almost having a trauma response because we're in this state. And this is something I learned from my quantum coach last night. And I was very skeptical about the power of manifestations. I am always open-minded and always passionate about being into holistic health, but not fitting that kind of stereotype, because that put me off holistic health for it not being for me. Like, what a ridiculous statement that was that I made, that well-being isn't for me. No, well-being's not for me. That holistic stuff, this was me in the past. But then actually, when it comes to it, and I've been doing more on manifestation, more on mindfulness, actually having that time out, whereas before I was just an adrenaline junkie. And I'm not even talking about the before of like that distant past, recent past, an absolute adrenaline junkie. And I even have that go-to mindset as well, that go-to, not mindset anymore, but behaviors, and that stems from breaking this cycle, or not, and just keep fulfilling my adrenaline state. And that's where having this time out at the moment and having a really challenging time, but a more restful time, has allowed me to feel pain in the present, but also to look at mindfulness and manifestations. Because I don't know, you've probably heard of cognitive behavioral therapy. So that's like breaking that cycle, thought and belief create our feelings, which create our behaviors and actions, which then lead to the results or the behaviors. No matter how negative. So we get into those loops, and it's breaking out those loops. But often I find it hard just to write it down and think, oh yeah, I'm going to break that cycle. Whereas I found mindfulness and manifestation a great opportunity. And last week I did a quantum jump, or quantum leap, where you leap into your new future, your new version of yourself. But well, it's your best version of yourself. It's not someone else. It's the best version of yourself that you want to become. But what I like is that you can take these leaps in life. How's everyone getting on? Recording this live. You can take these leaps in life, and actually be free from your past and your traumas and all of that. And I've always loved, like, even my book Eat, Sleep, Control, Repeat has got the kind of cracked gold cover, which I love that art of Kintsugi in Japan, where they say like it's much more precious a pot when it's been broken and then gilded back together with gold. And I love that analogy. But one thing that really resonated with me, and I remember it was when I was actually at a church group, and we had this new shoot. So rather than this old tree that we'd kind of like become beautiful and formed through all these things, we were like a new shoot. So whilst that old tree was still part of us, we were actually the new shoot. And that for me in all of this is one of the threads through whatever your spirituality is. It doesn't really matter. It's about being aligned with yourself. And that's when having quantum coaching has really helped, as well as the manifestation and the mindfulness and the rest, because it's that giving that opportunity to yourself, and trying to keep going into that best self. So waking up in the morning, I've done it for the first time this morning, where as I stir and my brain's open to anything, the mindfulness practitioner said I can always do like just a brain dump, write out whatever words straight away without thinking or in my head. And then at the moment doing the manifestation style, which is setting my emotional intentions for the day. Like, I want to feel strong or rested in mind and body, or whatever comes without your kind of conscious, it's your unconscious brain. And then the night before you can set your goals and your more conscious brain and your kind of to-dos, your intentions, and then put them aside, and actually reframing your mindset and your life to build in recovery and rest, and genuine recovery and rest. That's the thing. I think I've always like masked it. Oh well, I'm being restful whilst doing, whereas that's not always a restful state. When you're raising your heart rate, and that is good for some mindfulness for those who don't raise their heart rate enough. But it's all about like adjusting yourself, and that's what I love, because I think so many of us, me included, have had so much stuff holding us back, and it's not that I always get it right. It's that I'm definitely on a journey, and I was experiencing and have been experiencing a lot of challenges and trauma, and then but I'm going from that. You get stuck in a cycle, you're a victim or something, then you become a survivor, and now this is my chance for a new lease of life. So I'm going to fully embrace it, and an actual lease of life away from labels. And I'll talk about labels because sometimes they are helpful so people can understand, but at the same time it's to be free, and there's that real power in aligning with your best self. So I never thought I'd be one for mindfulness or manifestation or even slowing down, but actually it's really helping me, and it's taking my foot off the pedal, which is actually helping me be more productive. I'm more mindful and conscious of what I'm doing, because sometimes I don't, and I haven't always realised it. And it's having that foot off, and foot off the world or your triggers, and actually kind of really focusing on what is feeding your soul. So swap the social media scroll for some soul searching. That's my my tip. But yeah, I'd love to know what you found helps with recovery, and I'm obviously on my own journey as well, and this is all just my personal journey. I'd love to know more about you and what has helped you as well. Sending you so much peace, love, and shimmies as ever, and lots of manifestations. I thought it were just loads of positive affirmations, and I've got a lot of positive affirmations around, as you know, but it's not. It's much more powerful. And I do love an affirmation, but I need the manifestation intention as well as the words, because you need to believe them and really feel them, because our beliefs create our feelings, which create our actions and behaviors, which then we get the results of that cycle. So we're going there, we're getting there, we're slowly breaking that cycle and taking that quantum leap where we can just start afresh. And it's Easter, Lent, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. It's nearing the end of lockdown of some sort, restrictions at ease, whatever sign you'd like. There's lots there at the moment. I just go for new bulbs and flowers springing. That is more than good enough for me. Appreciating the ordinary in the extraordinary world, but most of all, the ordinary is fabulous.